Hi folks, it's John from Kingston Sandblasting and kingstonpowdercoating.com. I'd like to share with you a really big order that we've just completed. We did it with two different types of paint or powder coating paint. So this is all one big Harley Davidson motorcycle that the client has taken apart. It was all high polished chrome and we're going with a black look, and it's a really nice contrast because he's selected certain parts to be the texture. So if you can imagine all of these parts being the high gloss or shiny chrome, and then what we did is we had to prepare it all, and you can see the back sides. These are obviously the valve covers. So everything was this high polished, so we had to make sure that we masked everything off, and then we gassed them all, degreased them, and then powder coated them. This is the exact texture that Harley Davidson or S&S, the company that builds the motors, is the exact same supplier for our powder coating. So this is a beautiful texture finish, and you can see all of the parts. So basically, I don't want to bore you too much, but a lot of people that inquire about powder coating, they're not familiar with how durable it is and what's all required in the attention to detail. So we have this basic cover. There's going to be an emblem that sits in here. There's a badge and a medallion, and hopefully you can pick it up in the camera. You see there's 5 threaded inserts, and they're very fine thread and they're very small. Most places that you take something to get sandblasted and powder coated, they won't spend the time to mask these, so then you have to tap every one of those threads, and it's a very, very time-consuming thing. So it's one of the things in attention to detail. You can see the back side where the gasket surfaces are. These are all masked and perfectly clean. We make sure we wash these off before we bubble wrap them and ship them out to the client. So these are actually ready to directly install onto the bike, and every piece is like that. So wherever there's a part that needs to be masked that can't receive powder coating, like the steering section, we make sure that it's all protected. And then same thing on the inside edges here, you can see that's all masked. So I don't want to bore you too much, but very, very important in terms of the detail work. You want to make sure that everything is protected because you don't necessarily want powder coating in certain areas. So we've got lots of items with the textured, and then we have the high gloss black, and there's lots of, so we had the wheels, which were a polished aluminum alloy. They were just starting to pit a little bit. And then the spokes had a little bit of a matte black in the rougher part of the cast. And you can see once again, we've masked everything, made sure all the thread holes are protected. So these bearing races are perfectly ready. This will be a really nice assembly. So when the client takes all of these items home, it's basically just start assembling all of the parts. Same thing with these brackets. You can see with the thread, they look exactly like brand new, and the powder is exactly where it's supposed to be. And then we even have, so for our handlebars, you can see in here where it's all threaded, you can see how nice that is. It's coated where it should be, and then we've protected the threads where you don't want to have the powder coating, because it's about 2 to 3 mil worth of powder that goes on. So it is hours and hours to get all of the threads clean if you're putting a whole bike together. Same thing with all of these items. So this is our high gloss black. It's like a mirror black, so it's the brightest black finish we have, and we do a lot of this kind of stuff. So it doesn't really matter how big or small the parts are. We got quite a large oven, and a lot of people say it's kind of a pain or tricky to do, but even our little surrounds for the lights, you can see there's the wire that goes in there, but then the bolted section, you can see that's all protected. And then we make sure that we powder that ring where the lens and everything goes in so you don't miss that edge. So taking everything from a high gloss black is going to totally change the look of the bike. Things like our horn cover, you can see how nice that looks. So basically it takes a whole different look or different image from what it was before in the polished. And then things like the chain guard, a lot of guys would only do the one side of the guard, but I'm kind of anal because when it's on the bike, you're going to see part of it, especially when you bend down to look at the bike. So we make sure that we do all of the sides of the chain guard to make sure. And once again, with the texture look, it's quite nice, I think. So lots of textured paints in stock in the powder coating world. The same thing with the bright finishes. So this is a Harley Davidson motorcycle, and I thank you for watching. I'm John from kingstonpowdercoating.com.